Let's get ready to rumble! Beer! Money! He's from the country. He's from the city. Washing money!
Welcome to another installment of Outside the Ring. I am Jason Murphy alongside my esteemed colleagues, Wes Burden, who's wearing a very nice Kobe Bryant number 24 shirt.
My favorite purple one.
Big ups to you, my favorite player. And Stone Cold Troy Austin to my right.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we are, you having adjusting problems there with your chair?
No, I'm good now.
You okay?
He's got the hard-ass wooden chair. We got the nice cushy ones.
I know. First thing we got to do is plug our shameless plugs. Twitter.
Yep.
You can follow us now on Twitter. We're up to like 17 followers in a week. That's not bad.
Not much, but it's a start.
It's a start. And
Everybody got to start somewhere.
It's at Outside the Ring with the number 1. On Facebook, if you just type in Outside the Ring, a ring pops up. We got about 14, 15 people last check following us on Facebook. That's cool. We always, I know, Troy, you were all over the Vengeance pay-per-view posting stuff on our Facebook. So that was cool. And then our YouTube page, Outside the Ring with the number 1, again, just like Twitter. And we have, guys, about, 200
almost
views?
Mm-hmm. I know it's not a lot, but we've got almost 200 combined with both of our videos. It's a start somewhere.
That's a lot.
Don't forget about the email.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the email, Troy?
Outside the Ring 316.
Yes.
you.
At Gmail.
Yes, I made the email and I almost forgot it. Outside the Ring 316 at gmail.com.
There you go. So there's our shameless plugs.
Perfect.
And without further ado, we got to do some headlines, boys. And it's kind of a mixture of TNA, Legends, WWE, everything.
It's a mixed bag, a little bit of everything.
And can you dig it, sucker? Booker T's potential in-ring return. WWE announcer Booker T is expected to return to the ring very soon. The latest word is that Booker T is going to soon be feuding with Cody Rhodes that will lead into a match between the two men, aside from Booker's desire to wrestle again.
It's a guy and a goat.
WWE sees Booker's return to the ring as a chance to promote their upcoming King of the Ring DVD. Love that pay-per-view. Bring that back.
Booker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I heard that this might happen. This might start as soon as this week.
Do you think they'll build towards Survivor Series then? Does a singles match?
I hope.
I would like to see that, but I think they need a little bit more build-up time than that.
I mean, it's 4 weeks.
They have been kind of building it, when Cody comes out and his baggers give Booker the bag every week.
Now I'm assuming that they're gonna run with this probably till Survivor Series, and then
probably.
Booker goes back to commentary.
Probably. Yeah, because I can't see Booker T returning to the ring full time.
He's going to put Rhodes over, so it'll make Rhodes look
Booker's a professional. He'll definitely put Rhodes over.
Because, they're already, grooming Cody for the main event by letting him get the win over Orton.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Mick Foley has finally announced his WWE return. Now,
Have a nice day.
Yeah, Sacco. Bang, bang. Speculation among internet fans says that Mick Foley's personal Twitter account has been swirling for months about the hardcore legend would be returning to television. Well, the rumors to this return can now be answered. Mick Foley is advertised to appear on the Go Home Before Survivor Series show, which guess who else is going to be there? The Rock.
The great one.
In Boston.
The People's
Beantown. John Cena's hometown. What could we
not
expect?
Technically his hometown. It's close enough.
Close enough.
close, yeah.
West Newbury.
Now, no one knows that this is going to be a one-time deal. Look, I think many fans want to see The Rock and Mick Foley interact.
The Rock
again.
and Sock connection.
Bring back a lot of
all the
memories,
way.
definitely.
That Raw is definitely going to be.
Well, like you said, is it going to be a
one?
one-time deal, or are they going to try and swirl him in there to be the
Don't know.
permanent Raw GM?
I would like to see Foley come back as the permanent Raw general manager. Anything to get John Laurinaitis
out of there,
executive vice president of talent relations and interim Raw general manager, out of that position.
Funk Man.
Funk Man. Mr. Future Endeavor. I found out that's another of his nicknames because all the people he got rid of.
No kidding. I don't know if it's going to be a one. It's going to be one of those deals. Mm-hmm. WrestleMania,
yeah,
Survivor
I think he's still
Series.
got one match left in him too.
Yeah.
Foley,
WrestleMania.
Foley, honestly, has quite a few matches left in him. Because, I mean, yeah.
As long as he could take ass-kissing kickings on a regular basis, I mean, come on.
Foley, yeah, he's old. He's got injuries. He's got all that. But it's Foley. That's what he's known for.
Yeah, I read somewhere where they said he might go against Undertaker at WrestleMania. They might push towards that.
If they did it in Hell in a Cell, it'd be
only
good.
if it's a Hell in a Cell.
But I don't know if even Foley could take some of those bumps that he took in that match.
He definitely
now.
couldn't take a bump off the cell now because they raised the cell.
It's like 20 feet higher than it was. No way. Another return speculated. Chris Jericho possibly coming back to TV.
I hope so.
It was reported that Jericho is telling his friends and former colleagues that he's in talks with WWE officials about returning to the organization to set up a match at next year's WrestleMania. Now, they heard from a reliable source that it could be Jericho versus The Miz.
I would love to see that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
Yes.
They're friends, but they have these things on Twitter. If you follow them
Twitter
on Twitter,
wars.
Twitter wars, like Cena and The Rock do. They go back and forth, and Jericho said, "Hey, you took my move."
Yes, Jericho says, you're stealing my stuff. You're calling people troglodytes and all that.
Yeah.
You're stealing my moves.
Yeah.
Which Cody Rhodes stole the walls of Jericho last night.
I noticed that.
They called it a Boston Crab, but it was the walls of Jericho.
Yeah. I think it would be great. Now, do you bring Jericho back as Y2J, the sexy beast, and all that stuff? Ayatollah, rock and roller?
would.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or do you change it up totally again?
He likes to change his characters though.
He
when
does,
he comes in
and he's
every
very
time.
good at that.
But I had heard a while ago that Jericho does not want to ever be a face again.
I heard that too. That's why I'm asking. I'm wondering.
They might bring him in as a face simply because by that time Miz is probably still going to be a heel.
Yeah.
Miz works so good as a heel.
I can't
turn
see
him
Miz
quickly?
being a
I cannot
face.
see Miz being a face.
No.
I think
I could see him being a tweener like Austin, but not a straight up face.
With this WrestleMania, it's already looking good. Daniel Bryan possibly winning the title. Rock and Cena. Hey, if you hate Cena's wrestling Billy, whatever. It's going to be a spectacle, just like Hogan and Rock.
Exactly.
It was a spectacle in itself. You're going to buy it to see that match.
Punk's gonna be in the title match. The
Punk
title
possibly.
match. Possibly.
Yeah.
This Mania could be leaps and bounds better than the last five Manias.
I can guarantee I can guarantee that it's going to be way better than 27.
They would have a lot of good
sucked.
promos going into it.
I agree. Plans for Hulk Hogan's next scheduled wrestling match. Brother.
Oh, because we need Hogan in the ring again.
Well, following Hulk Hogan's wrestling return, if you could call it that, last Sunday at Bound for Glory and the aftermath, TNA's creative department, or lack thereof, is now building towards a match putting the Hulkster and Garrett Bischoff, who's pretty big.
He is.
He's a big guy.
For a referee, he was pretty stacked.
Against the team of Ric Flair and Eric Bischoff. They're thinking about doing it at Lockdown in April, which that's
so we have another reason to let Flair blade.
Yeah,
Dude could drop
both of them.
Dude could drop a freaking cup of hot coffee on his lap.
Although
blade.
they're saying April because Hogan was hurt last Sunday during that pay-per-view.
When isn't Hogan hurt?
Yeah, he did take some bumps. And
they weren't hard bumps.
They weren't hard, but they were enough that Hogan got hurt.
That's a long time to build a feud, too. I mean, just towards one match.
Yeah.
Hogan needs to give it up. He needs to give it
Hulk,
up.
Stay out of the ring.
I wouldn't mind Hogan just being like the GM.
I know that this
That's
is
fine,
basically
but
all you know, Hulk, but give it up. Same with Flair.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
too hard for him.
Well, I think that
It's like
the alimony.
It's like an addiction to him.
It is.
And Flair with all his alimony, and Hogan's got to be paying something because of Linda took everything he has.
Yeah, I think Hogan. The best thing Hulk and Flair need to do is just sign a Legends contract with WWE.
Yep.
And Hogan could come out and get a huge pop every Mania
because
if
the
he
Legends
wants.
contract, they get paid continuously whether they're in action or not.
Yeah, I think,
basically they pay them to use their name.
Yeah, and they'll get TV time. I mean, they could come out with a new book for Hogan and get paid big time.
You put them in the video games, they'll get profits off the video games.
Oh, absolutely.
They still name drop Hogan, too. They don't really name drop Flair as much.
No.
That's because Hogan was more of a WWF guy than Flair was.
That, and they're trying to play off Rick because they are lining up Cena to break his title
reign.
Yeah, his title reigns.
It's getting close.
And I can almost guarantee they're not going to mention Flair.
I agree. I agree.
Even though that
Flair was never Vince's guy.
No, even though at last year's Hall of Fame ceremony, they even posted on YouTube of Flair congratulating Shawn, and they did nothing to hide it. they said they even put a name tag up, WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair.
Yeah.
So apparently, Flair and the WWE are still on good terms.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though he completely crapped all over the retirement they gave him.
Yeah. And then one last thing, big ups to Raw. Their rating went up from last week, so now the Super Show from last night scored a 3.31 cable rating. It's up a little bit from last week. Now, this week's show averaged 4.71 million viewers, with the first hour averaging 4.93 million off of pay-per-view, of course.
That's the only reason it got that high, is because it was a show right after the pay-per-view, and because Cena lost.
The second hour actually went down. That's funny you mentioned that, because it went from towards the main event went only a 4.64, which is still a lot.
You have to remember too, they're competing with the Monday Night Football game and the World Series was on.
Funny you mentioned that.
Plus, you've also got to remember, what was our main event? John Cena
match.
and JR. Or no, it was John.
Last week.
Yeah, that was last week. Okay, it was John Cena and Zack Ryder, who got beat down during the match, versus Awesome Truth.
Yeah, there you go. This week's
people just
you
saw that and they
this.
figured, okay.
Wes mentioned it. Raw was actually number 2 behind ESPN Monday Night Football, which was a horrible game too, which says a lot.
That hopes for them.
That was a horrible game.
Yeah, that just goes to show that even if the game's terrible, people will still watch just because it's football.
It's amazing.
So I'm not a huge football fan, but
the game was one of the worst probably Monday Night Football games in recent memory, and it still beat Raw.
The 10 o'clock hour for Raw too is when the World Series game started to pick up, and the interest was the game was actually got a lot better then. So
all right, so that's your headlines, and let's go into vengeance before we touch.
I thought we was gonna hit on TNA.
Oh
first.
Well, we might as well give it.
It'll be a short segment.
It's going to be. All right, so Impact last
Wes,
week.
do you have any notes on TNA, or you just?
I remember most of it.
There ain't much to remember.
There wasn't really much.
It was a horrible show with a huge
twist at the end.
We all knew about it.
We gave you the spoilers last week.
By the way, we mentioned Raw's rating. TNA's Impact last week was the best show they've done
in history of their TV thing, isn't it?
It was either in the history of the company, second highest on Spike in history.
Yeah, because people heard it and they tuned in to see if it was real, which it was.
I guess Bischoff was right.
So what did we have leading up to that big spoiler?
Well, the first match didn't happen until 45 minutes in because they kept going back and forth between Hogan talking, Bischoff talking, Dixie Carter,
Sting.
It was
then
bad.
Bobby Roode and James Storm came out. That's where Storm and Angle was made for the main event.
We were wondering how that was going to get made.
That was basically it was James Storm saying, "Hey, I'm going to kick your ass for screwing my buddy out of the title."
Yeah.
And then I think they had a knockouts match.
They always have a knockout match.
No, they did not. Velvet Sky came out and basically was, "Hey, I'm the champ."
Yeah, she came out later on, but they did have a knockouts match. I don't know who it was though.
Oh, you're right. It was Victoria, a.k.a. Tara.
Tara now.
And
Tara and
the other girl, the former stripper or whatever she.
That's like half the girls on that roster.
The girl that works at Hooters.
ODB?
Tessmacher.
Tessmacher.
Brooke Adams.
Okay.
She's hot. Dead ass.
So, I don't remember who won. I can't.
It
doesn't
care.
matter. There's only one important thing that happened on that show.
All right, next.
Yeah, and that was the main event.
Yeah.
We're going to rush through Impact, guys.
Fast forward to that.
That's all I'm going to say.
Wrap it up. Go straight to the main event. We don't need to hear about the 30-minute promos.
No, there wasn't much there.
Well, they introduced they said that Ronnie from Jersey Shore was going to be on the show next week.
You know what?
I love it how TNA gets JWoww, Angelina, Ronnie. Jeez. Don't ask me how I know those names. I just remember them. They get the B stars from the Jersey Shore. WWE got Snooki, and they're already better.
Not to mention they're trying to rip off Zack Ryder's gimmick. Exactly. Say what you want about Zack
with Robbie E.
And what's the other guy's name?
Over. Rob Terry. When did those two get together?
I don't know.
I think Robbie E was calling Rob like Robbie T or something like that. And
it was stupid.
And Eric Young.
What was up with his beard?
Do not get me started on Eric Young. Number one, he looks stupid with that pube beard.
What is that?
Number two, it looks like something died on his
I didn't even recognize him when they started talking. I was like, who is that guy? And then they said his name again.
He want to talk about a gimmick that grows stale.
Yeah, this whole brain damage gimmick. Eric Young is a very good worker, and you're wasting him.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say about that, because if I get started on this...
What belt does he have?
The TV title.
TV title, okay.
Which doesn't mean
the TV title, and he also has the old TNA World Heavyweight title, which I don't know why.
But
he honestly didn't he find it in the trash can?
Yeah, something
and
like
then he
that.
thought he was the TNA champion.
Wow.
And then there was a thing where he went and actually fought Scott Baio in Hollywood on a golf course.
The guy from the Wonder Years.
No, that wasn't one. That was Happy Days.
Oh, Happy Days. I'm sorry.
Charles in Charge.
The guy from the Wonder Years was on it too because he's friends with Bischoff.
The guy, Jason Hervey.
Jason
He's the
Hervey,
executive producer of it.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Really?
He came along with Bischoff.
The guy who played
I love that show.
The guy who played
was a good show.
Arnold, the bigger brother.
Yeah.
He's the executive producer of TNA.
Wow.
And there goes TNA.
They wonder why the product's not good.
No wonder. Okay, so the main event, James Storm against Angle. We touched on it last week.
Not much to comment about this because...
But we didn't know how long that match was going to be.
We didn't know the details of it because we just heard, Storm wins.
They said it was a quick match online before, but we didn't realize how quick it was.
When I hear, it was a quick match, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
Not less than a minute.
A minute long with a super kick. James Storm wins with no build-up, nothing.
The bell basically rang. Angle... laid into Storm a few times.
Yeah.
Corner.
Backed him up into the corner. Storm hits the last call super kick, pins him, new champion, less than a minute.
And they had a big celebration that lasted like 5-6 minutes on TV.
The celebration lasted longer than the match.
The celebration was better than
the crowd
match.
actually did pop though, really.
Oh, yeah.
really
But
good
again,
for it.
I think it was a shock pop.
Shock pop.
Again, with TNA, you can never tell because they pipe in.
But I mean, they showed
Yeah.
at least the section where he ran into the crowd. They all looked
Agreed.
extremely thrilled.
Okay,
They
I'll
had
give
some
them
storm
that.
signs too.
I agree. But nothing.
Nothing. No,
It was a horrible build-up.
It
I felt
was.
really
So now-
bad
yeah.
for Bobby.
I'm glad that Storm got the belt because, I'm not a huge fan of Angle. Back in his day, I did like Kurt Angle, but nowadays he's busted. His time is over. Kurt, you need to give it up.
Yeah. But he's doing what the company's telling him to do, unless he's in on the politics now. But it could be. So that's TNA. We'll see what happens this week. Okay, Vengeance. I told you I wasn't going to watch it. We all did.
Yeah.
You guys somehow, we're not saying, you guys saw the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was better than what we expected, right?
It was. I gave it a 3.5 to 4 out of 5. It was. Some people will say, "Oh, it sucked. No feuds were resolved. Nothing was built up."
Which could be true.
Blah, blah, yeah, but so what? The wrestling was good.
Yeah.
The results to the matches were acceptable. Some of them. Well, I liked all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. So. All right, let's go down the card.
Let's do that.
Okay. First match on the card was the tag titles with Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger versus Air Boom and Air Boom.
That was a
wins.
pretty good tag team match.
It was
to
a pretty
open them
good
out.
match. It was, and Air Boom got the win. I didn't see all of this match.
I'm not a big fan of Air Boom, but I'm glad they kept the
trying
belts
to- yeah,
because
they're
they
trying to build
need
up
to
tag-
rebuild the
tag-
tag.
Yeah, they need to rebuild it because
we
the
talked
tag
about
team,
credible divisions.
The tag team
know?
division has been shattered for so many years.
Yeah, it's cool.
And
That's
now with
fine.
the thing with their WWE's talking about bringing in the Kings of Wrestling because they already have Claudio Castagnoli. They just need to get Chris Hero.
It's going to be huge if they
If they get
him
Chris
in.
Hero.
He's already he just started an FCW. He just
he?
had a match. Yeah, his first match. He
Oh.
came out and he beat.
I didn't hear about that.
I forget the guy. Dalton.
you go.
His last name.
Dalton.
Andy Dalton from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
We had a Heath Miller sighting last week.
Wow.
All
Oh,
these
yeah.
football players. All right.
All right, second match. I didn't see any of it because I was actually on my way over to a buddy's house to actually watch the pay-per-view.
Smart man.
My man.
Oh, keep fist pumping all you want. He's still lost.
I know.
And I even wrote down on my notes here. I said, U.S. title, Ziggler versus Ryder, circled Ziggler for the winner, and I put thank God underneath of it.
Well, the thing is they did the Jack Swagger kind of distracted him. Towards the
so?
end, and then Ziggler got the super kick on him, and then he won.
I think
So-
Ryder's just happy he was on a pay-per-view.
Well, that too. And Ryder has dirty wins over Dolph, so don't give me that crap about, it was a dirty win.
No, I'm not saying it's a dirty win, but I don't know if they're gonna try and push Ryder to fight him again, or if that was just
Maybe.
it for him.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no, that feud is not over. Like I said, Zack Ryder will win that title sooner or later.
I agree.
So, yeah, Ziggler wins with a super kick that I actually did see on a replay, and it looked
It looked good.
heinous, honestly.
He studied some HBK tapes, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting a lot better in the ring.
He is.
He knows
Well,
how
good.
to work
He's
a
been
match
good.
now.
I mean,
yeah.
they dressed him like a cheerleader.
He was wearing a U.S. flag singlet. to
Which,
the
by
ring.
the way, was
He was-
pretty funny.
he was-
Zack
he was-
Ryder on Twitter, actually, before the match, had a picture of Dolph as the male cheerleader and said, "Hey, can you sign
Nikki?
this, bro?"
Yeah, he
I
said
thought
he
it
was
was
wearing
funny.
the American flag. He was trying to out American with
Yeah.
the All-American American.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, third match on the card was the match nobody cared about. Eve versus Beth.
Right, who won?
Beth won.
There you go.
I put on here, I put Divas title match, Eve versus Beth. No, dear God, no.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed,
And
if you knew this,
the
but
only hang on a second.
Go ahead.
The only thing really to note about this, Beth won and Eve had new music. That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it. CM Punk is dating Beth Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
I did not know.
didn't know that?
I did not know.
They've been doing
Yeah.
that. They've been going
They've
out for
been
almost
for a while.
a year.
She can outbench him, I bet you.
Oh.
She could bench him himself.
I never heard about that, and he did a CM Punk did
Maxim.
this Maxim interview
Yeah.
and said he was dating Beth Phoenix. How
Yeah.
funny is it that the two people that can actually work
Yeah.
in both divisions are
Exactly.
dating each other?
The two people that are trying to move for change.
Yeah,
He's dated.
Go
He's
figure.
dated around too.
He's dated Maria.
Lita. And I think there was one other girl that he's dating, but I'm not sure who it
Runs
is.
in my mind it was Layla, but I could be completely wrong about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah.
Do you know?
I think
No?
Layla is actually dating
Layla's
Cody
dating
Rhodes,
Cody Rhodes right now.
which is hilarious.
Like you,
Cody used to date Beth Phoenix too.
What?
Yeah, yeah. He was.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
He
What's
was
up?
Punk's best rebound from Cody.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where do we go from this segment? Oh, yeah, we were still doing Vengeance.
Yeah, we're still on Vengeance. After the Divas title match, we got Sheamus and Christian. Nothing really to note on that one. It was a good match, but nothing spectacular. Sheamus comes out with the win on that. Next match was the big tag match. Was Triple H and CM Punk versus Awesome Truth. A pretty good match.
Yeah.
Pretty good match.
They didn't get a lot of time. They got a decent amount of time.
Miz got the pin on Punk.
They did the
because
little Jimmy finale.
the little Jimmy finale.
That's what their
That's what
move
they're
is
called,
called.
yeah.
Did you see what they did?
Yeah, Miz hit
does
the
his-
skull crushing
yeah.
finale, and Truth hits whatever his move's
whatever.
called. I
Truth.
call it
somebody's going to get.
I call it the blackout, and I'm not trying to be racist there, but
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's what they called it. I think that's what Cole called
the
it.
little Jimmy
the
finale.
little Jimmy finale. Yeah.
They should just call it Truth Hurts.
Yeah. I don't know. That
would
be,
make
yeah.
sense.
But
It was.
yeah.
It was.
So-
And that was about the only spot in there that was worthy of noting. That's what I have down here, the double finisher
well,
ending.
Punk got distracted by Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
returning.
well, yeah, Kevin Nash came back and powerbombed
yeah,
Nash.
attacked-
Or no, he
he
powerbombed
probably-
Triple H.
yeah.
And the landing was pretty
pretty-
bad on that.
I
did.
didn't see it, but I heard Triple H actually did get shaken up because
Yeah.
he did land wrong.
He landed on
sideways.
his shoulder.
Yeah.
Ooh, and
Yeah.
they did sell the shoulder on Raw. We'll get
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
So,
And, yeah, like I said, Miz got the pin on Punk because I really think Triple H won't let anybody pin him.
No.
That's just
It's
me.
amazing.
I could be completely wrong.
although they're kind of branching Punk away from the Nash thing,
Punk's doing
Yeah.
a lot of
They
this.
really-
a lot of up and down
Punk,
right
Punk,
now.
Punk is roller coaster.
Yeah.
they
and he's
really
kinda up,
want
kinda down,
well
kinda
that
up.
and the
He's going
fact
through every storyline.
they
Yeah.
want Triple H
to be the main
with
focus.
Nash with
Yeah.
Nash. They
Yeah.
wanted that to sell.
What a shocker.
All right, so go ahead.
The guy needs a push, you know.
Yeah,
Triple
Yes.
H.
Yes, he does.
next match was Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Again, a good match. It was not for the Intercontinental title. This was just
Grudge match.
Yeah.
Orton wanted vengeance. Hence
Yeah.
the name of the pay per view.
We called it. We-
couple
you know.
spots to speak of in there. Cody went for a moonsault, and it was. I'm guessing it was supposed to be the end of the match. Cody went for a moonsault, and Orton tried to catch him into an RKO, but couldn't get it.
No.
That would have been an awesome finish to the match,
That
but
would have been.
they couldn't do it. But it still wouldn't have topped the shooting star press into the RKO.
No.
They did Evan Bourne.
No.
Other than that, again, nothing really to speak of on that match. Next match on the card was the World Heavyweight Championship. Mark Henry versus Big Show. Mm-hmm. This match was surprisingly pretty good.
Somebody,
all right to
somebody
watch.
told
Yeah,
me
For a big guy match.
Yeah, somebody actually told me, it was either on Twitter or Facebook, that this was one of the best big man matches of all time.
I mean, it started. I don't know
I
about
wouldn't
that,
say
but it
that.
started off slow, and then they worked a good ending towards
yeah.
the end of the match.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you got to remember
And
how
granted
big
that the
both
end-
these guys
granted
are.
that the ending was redone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same turnbuckle and everything.
Yeah. It was a couple spots before the ending. During Mark Henry's entrance, Booker T further buried John Morrison. He said something, and he said something about that parkour kid.
Yeah.
The kid that does the parkour.
The guy
He
that's only
couldn't
been there for
remember-
7 years.
Yeah, the guy
That's
that's only
bad.
been there for 7 years. The parkour kid. and I think Jerry Lawler had to tell him John Morrison, and Booker says, "Yeah, that's the guy."
Yeah, that's it, dog. That's
it's bad when Lawler has to tell you who the guy
Really?
is.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, this is just further burying John Morrison. John Morrison can go, but they just won't let him.
No.
Another spot in that match, well, not even really a spot, but Henry tried to walk out, take the 10 count and just retain the title. And the big ending was a complete scene for scene, camera cuts and all repeat of the Brock Lesnar Big Show ring breaking.
Now, did they
spot.
mention that?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They actually mentioned Brock Lesnar.
I'm shocked because WWE sometimes, when one of their former stars leaves or whatever, they usually don't mention it. But Brock just signed that thing with WWE 12, the video game, so now they can mention him. Because usually they act like, oh, he didn't even exist.
Well,
this is the first time
they
ever.
could have mentioned him. They just couldn't mention him in his UFC days.
No, that's true.
Did you see the video on YouTube that someone shot there live? It looked, I mean, obviously it looks different just from a
from a different
cell phone shot, but it was pretty cool.
Assuming though that this time it was definitely no matter what supposed to happen.
Yeah.
The match was thrown out. Big Show was carted out. Henry tried to walk out on his own. He was throwing doctors off of him. Yeah, he
did you see where Teddy Long came out? He was like, "Can we fit both of these guys on one of the?"
Hey, player,
I still don't understand why John Laurinaitis came out there. John Laurinaitis isn't in charge of SmackDown.
Yeah, what was he doing?
SmackDown main event.
I don't get that either.
Maybe trying to get a cigarette off one of them. That's my guess.
Well, they were plugging on WWE.com that both of them suffered like neck and back injuries. So
of course,
not sure where
you got to sell that.
And of course, Mark Henry. Mark Henry came out looking better from that because he actually,
which is what we wanted.
They even
he
interviewed
walked
the ref.
out.
Did you see that?
No,
on
I didn't see that.
WWE.com, they interviewed the ref.
I think it was the same ref too, wasn't it?
Yes,
it was the same ref for Brock and.
I don't know. But he did some like quick interview where he's like, "Oh, I'm shaking up. I can't believe that happened while I was,
No, I was shaking up. It's something I knew was going to happen.
Well, and we talked about it. We want Mark Henry. We don't really think he's a great wrestler by any stretch, but we want him to keep the belt to like Mania just because we want a credible
I don't know about
champ.
that long because Daniel Bryan.
How about Rumble?
I could
That's
go with
probably
Rumble.
when he'll drop it.
I mean, just until make it
as long as he
credible.
doesn't, as long as he doesn't drop it to Big Show.
No, I like Big Show as a guy.
Yeah, I like
but,
Big Show, but
drop it to Rumble, give him his rematch.
Although I'll tell you what, Big Show, I
Elimination
would
Chamber.
not mind seeing Big Show get the belt one more time.
Or he might drop it at Elimination Chamber because I mean, there's 5 other guys.
I think Big Show deserves one more run before. And that guy has been through a lot of hell. I mean, he's so big and he can hardly move. He's had how many surgeries?
Well,
I mean, he's been a good employee.
Yeah, Kane's going to be coming back too.
There's another guy that deserves it.
I saw pictures online. Kane has hair now.
Does he?
He looks so weird with hair.
He does.
Wow.
There was a picture I saw. He looked like either Brett Favre or Chris Benoit.
Hey, I'm Kane.
Sorry, Chris Benoit.
He had facial hair too.
I'm
He had
Kane.
facial hair, and he had.
I didn't see the facial hair. I just saw he has.
top, yeah.
He almost has like Charlie Brown hair going on. It's like there, but not a lot there.
Was that the picture with Edge? Did you see Edge?
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw one with him, and I think
his wife.
Yeah.
I'm Kane. I like Wrangler jeans.
They should repackage him and just make him some totally different guy.
Take him back to Isaac Yankem, his dentist gimmick.
That would be funny.
Ish, oosh, ash. Next. What happened?
I forgot we were still doing this.
Yeah. We had the main event, right?
Final match on the card was the WWE title match, Alberto Del Rio versus Cena in a last man standing match.
In the busted ring.
In the busted ring, yes. They did not bother fixing the ring. Laurinaitis got on the mic after Henry Big Show match and said that the show must go on.
Yeah.
And honestly,
cool, I guess.
it's a last man standing match. You don't need the ring.
No, you don't need it. And it actually makes it kind of entertaining without the
ring. Because Cena tried for the 5-knuckle shuffle, and normally he would like hit the ropes. He actually had to stop.
Back up, and then
he just backed up and just
I like that.
I know you saw it on Raw, but you see he debuted a new T-shirt.
Oh Jesus!
Yes, John Cena.
Yeah, he debuted a new T-shirt.
Rise Above Hate.
He debuted a new T-shirt because CM Punk stole his spot as #1 merchandise seller, and they got to put Cena back up at the top.
It's basically, if you look on the side of the shirt, it's one of those against bully shirts.
Yeah, it goes in
be a
conjunction with their Be a Star thing that they have going on with Glad and all that. Garbage.
That's all it is. That's all. And he's got the matching hat and the shorts. The shorts now are camouflage.
They're selling camouflage shorts that are just like Cena's at the event.
Why does this guy still think he's the Marine? That's my one question.
He feels connected to it through the movie, obviously, but I don't
he's
see
not
where
a Marine.
He gets that idea from.
I mean,
I know that he supports our troops.
That's
I
fine.
get that, but you're not a Marine,
right?
John.
No. I don't understand.
Plus, I guess that was probably his best grossing movie, so why forget that?
Best grossing movie, probably not a good movie.
It was
though.
because it was the first movie. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Okay,
People went to see that just because it was John Cena. Then they found out, hey, I want my money back.
So at the end of the match, Miz and Truth come in.
Yeah, actually, you hit on two of the spots I had written down here. The ring was
There
still
you go.
broke. Debuted a new shirt. Cena, last man standing match is supposed to be a brutal match.
Yes.
Cena barely sold any moves throughout the match, as usual. And then the ending to it comes when Awesome Truth, Miz and Truth run down and attack Cena.
Then even after that, he didn't stay down.
Even after that, he got up at 9.
Yeah.
Imagine
and
that.
then Del Rio
Clocked him.
comes at him, clocks him with the belt. He stays down for 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cena gets right up as the ref counts to 10, and that to me is BS.
Go figure,
Even
but I'm
if
used
he
to it.
loses, he's still got to look, strong.
Yeah, I agree. I
And
mean, he
it's-
never. Yeah, he's
Never
a whole. He
fails.
never gives up.
It's crap. Honestly, I mean, okay, yeah, build him to be this guy who, never gives up, never surrender, all that crap, but come on. I mean, it was the same way that happened at what was it? Over the Limit?
Yeah.
With Miz in the I Quit match.
Yep.
Took a 45-minute ass beating and still came out and made Miz tap in less than 2 minutes.
And then
Yeah.
he didn't sell anything at all from the match.
At all.
Nope.
He popped right back up and right back at it.
So Alberto wins that match
Alberto Del Rio
because of a triple beatdown, pretty much.
Basically. Yeah, he
They made Alberto
And-
look pretty strong, though, in the match.
They did do that. And, there's going to be people out there saying, oh, it's a dirty win. It's a dirty win. No, it's
He's
not.
a heel.
No, I don't see that as a dirty win because it was a no-holds. Anything went in the match.
Yeah.
Everything was legal. How can you call that
I mean,
dirty?
he had him down at 9 anyways before
Exactly.
Miz and them came out. So
Exactly.
it's not like he had him down for a 6 and then he came out.
Yeah, but
they
you
came
know
out and
that
attacked him.
that on Raw, well, actually it wasn't on Raw, but you know that at some point in time, Cena is probably going to come out and say, "Oh, Del Rio, you can't beat me one-on-one."
Yeah.
It's probably going to culminate in either a Hell in a Cell match or a cage match or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll see.
But, Cena is feuding with Miz and Truth right now, so that's probably going to take up a little bit of his time. And then he's going to have to focus his attention on The Rock.
Yeah.
So Del Rio is probably going to be moving on to Punk, which was hinted at on Raw.
And we'll get
So
to that in a
that's it for the Vengeance rundown.
There you
all
go.
in all, I give it a 3.5 to 4 stars out of 5. It wasn't extremely good, but it was pretty good.
It was a surprising okay.
They
Yes.
plugged
Yes,
Twitter decent overly
the whole
amount.
plugging the social networking is really
We're
going to
get to that. We will get on that before the show's over.
If you noticed, it's always Michael Cole.
Yeah.
By the way, you can follow us at Outside the Ring, #1 on Twitter.
Look up Outside the Ring on Facebook.
Thank you about that. So we go to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, the ratings went up because couple reasons, in my opinion. Rock coming back, everybody knows about that, and it's right after a pretty good, as Troy said, pay-per-view.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll have that after almost every pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The ratings will go up even just a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, yep. So here we go. Raw results. We go to Wes Burton. He's got 5 papers over here.
We need to get him.
4.
We need to get him his own theme music when,
Yeah.
when he's reading.
One of these pages is mine, but the rest I took offline.
So, let's just start it off.
Yeah.
Raw opens, and
Raw
how do
opens,
we open?
Triple
They
H
showed,
and
the video package highlighting what happened at Vengeance the night before, Kevin Nash and Triple H, and then the show started out with Triple H coming out.
Good segment, I thought.
Yeah, I mean it took up a lot of time, but it got to a lot of points. Triple H was he wanted to fight Kevin Nash. I mean, he wanted to get his quote
He
unquote
said,
vengeance back
actually,
for
it
that.
was more like, I want to kick his ass.
Laurinaitis comes out and he's saying, "Oh, Triple H, you're out of line," and all that. And Triple H finally clears up the speculation that he has absolutely no power, and he comes out and he says, "John, you may be the interim Raw GM, but I am still the COO, and you still answer to me." So that issue is solved. Triple H is still in a position of power.
I asked about that a couple weeks ago.
Exactly. He is still in a position of power. He's just not running the day-to-day on Raw, and he tells Laurinaitis to go find Nash and bring him to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's funny how every time a wrestler is positioned on the entrance ramp, like facing the ring, the guy always comes out from
Every time.
behind and attacks him.
Every time.
It
Always.
never fails.
Like, you would
Ever.
think to look behind you.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
where
I'm
else
going
is
to
he
do
coming
my
from?
pose and then
Yeah.
look behind me because I'm
Yeah.
thinking I'm going to get hit with a pipe.
It's like Rob Van Dam. He would always do the thumbs, Rob Van Dam, and then someone would attack him. Really? Are
Yeah.
you surprised?
Right.
No.
So Triple H starts to, we hinted on it, he starts to go to the back, he poses or looks at John Laurinaitis. Kevin Nash
And I-
comes out,
and I
hits
lo-
him with a sledgehammer.
right square in between the shoulder blades. And I also loved it during the whole promo that Triple H told Laurinaitis what everybody wants to tell him. Shut up.
Yeah, it was actually funny because every time Laurinaitis would try to talk, Triple H is
Shut up.
I mean, it's hilarious, and we're like, yes, shut up.
Even before Nash attacked him, when Triple H didn't have a microphone, he was still pointing down to the ring, telling him to shut up.
Yeah, and actually, it was a pretty big pop because I think everybody wants him to
Yeah,
shut
everybody
up.
wants to tell Laurinaitis to shut his mouth.
So
Okay, anyways.
Nash beats the hell out of him. They
Yeah.
go to break,
They go-
and then
yeah.
they come back.
Yeah,
With
they're
Triple
loading
H,
Triple H into the ambulance.
Yeah, he's strapped to the board
Yeah.
on the stretcher. Nash comes up and
Picks
says,
him up.
"Put him down."
Yeah.
I'll tell you
He's
what.
my friend. Put him down.
Nash is a strong dude to pick
Pick him
up
up.
at that age to still pick up
He
Triple
looked-
H
yeah.
on a
Yeah.
gurney.
He
Yeah.
looked pretty jacked. I
And-
mean, for
yeah.
being 52, he still looks like he's in pretty
Really?
damn good shape.
And
Yeah.
lean him up against the boxes, and then I thought it was a really good angle. Nash picks up the hammer again, and
Now,
the camera's shaking,
yeah,
so
Yeah.
they obviously didn't hit him in the
he
head.
hits him
No.
in the head, but you don't see it.
No.
Right, it was kind of like the camera was shaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of like harkened back to the old like horror movies where
Yeah.
you never actually saw the killer
It was-
do
it
anything.
was
Awesome. It was a quick shot.
It was
Yeah.
a good segment, though.
Yeah, it was.
So Nash leaves the building, and Laurinaitis acting like he cares about Triple H.
Yeah.
I think
And then-
Laurinaitis is going to turn
He's
on
gotta
H
swerve
eventually.
easily.
I like how
And-
they didn't have the phone number though on the back of the ambulance this time. Yeah,
but it was good.
Yeah, I
Everyone
remember 'cause
called in.
Everybody
Yeah.
called,
Everybody
in to see
called
if,
the number. Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
it? John Cena.
222-2222.
John Cena was it that they did that?
No, Bret Hart. It was
Oh,
when
yeah,
Bret Hart
yeah,
got
yeah,
attacked,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
everyone they said that the
No, it's
phone
Bret
number
Hart,
was
it's Bret
blowing
Hart.
up. Yeah, so they don't do that.
So
anymore.
the first match, then we finally get to a match.
It was still real to them, damn it.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back from break, we see the ambulance driving off. Then
Yep.
we're on to our first match.
The first match was Randy Orton and Sheamus taking on Christian and Cody Rhodes.
Good
Two-
match.
two
Seen it
matches.
50
match.
million
Faces, two
times.
heels.
Good match. Had a botched finish.
Yeah.
Christian went for the springboard crossbody. Sheamus was supposed to hit him with the brogue
Rhodes
kick.
went for it.
Huh?
Rhodes went for
Oh
the
yeah,
springboard.
yeah. Rhodes missed.
Yeah.
Or-
He was going for the beautiful disaster.
Yeah, he was going for the beautiful disaster. Sorry, I'm getting all
And then
mixed up
Sheamus
here.
tried his little kick, and he like kicked him in the knee.
Sheamus
Yeah,
tried to hit the
saw
brogue
that.
kick,
Yeah.
missed it. From what it looked like to me, after Cody hit the mat, he started grabbing his crotch. I think Sheamus
you
might have
gave
gave
him a
him
little nudge
gave him a
in there.
glancing
Put a
blow
bag on
in the
that.
groingular area.
According to
but-
Booker T, their chemistry in the match was, what do you say, off the hook.
Off the hook.
Off the hook, dog. Off the hook.
But yeah, the ending to the match after that, Sheamus picks him up, hits the high cross, and that
AKA Razor's Edge.
was Razor's Edge.
Chico. Yeah, I thought the match was good, but we've seen it before.
Yeah.
We've seen these four guys interact with each other for the last
And-
3 months.
And like
Yeah.
you mentioned to me earlier, why is Raw having a strictly SmackDown match?
yeah, I don't understand why you're having a
it's a
super show
Yeah.
when they're going to play this match again in
Exactly.
probably 2 weeks.
They'll
Exactly.
probably do it tonight on SmackDown.
2 weeks ago on SmackDown, they had the same damn tag match.
Yeah.
It's
Well, they had
you
Henry
got to
and
change
Morrison
it up.
too. Henry and Morrison took on each other back to back.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. That's
No.
why if you end the brand extension, you get more matches.
No.
I've been saying that for 5 years.
It's
So,
never
brand
gonna
extension.
end.
so
It's
Orton and
stupid.
Sheamus win. They're obviously building up Sheamus for a title run. You could tell.
I'm thinking Sheamus might be the one to take it from Henry.
I
at
think
like,
so.
At like the Rumble or something.
I think so because he never pinned Sheamus. He at SummerSlam.
Exactly.
And not to mention that, but Sheamus has been on a roll
Yeah.
lately, more than Orton.
I hate his new nickname though, the Great White Sheamus.
That's a Michael Cole name if
That
I've
is
ever
so
seen
stupid.
one. Yeah. So all right. So
Is that Sheamus? Is he gonna go into with the title then to WrestleMania? Do you think that far or
no.
what? He's just gonna win it for a month and then that's it.
I don't know who Brian.
I don't know.
Daniel
Bryan.
almost called.
Yeah, Brian
almost.
Danielson.
Brian
Yeah.
Danielson.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's gonna beat. I mean, yeah, if he beats Mark Henry, that's the biggest win ever in the history of ever.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You wanna
that'd be
talk
the
about-
biggest
for him,
upset
it
of
would
all
be.
You want to talk
time.
about David
Biggest
versus
upset.
Goliath?
That would be cool, but he'd have to pull a lot to get Mark Henry a good match. But
Oh yeah.
That wouldn't.
I don't know. But let's. What happens after?
They showed Laurinaitis in the back talking with Otunga, and then Cena walked in. He called Otunga Carlton Banks.
Carlton
which
that
Banks.
was
That was
actually
pretty
kind of
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
That was
That was
pretty
good.
funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, did he have his travel mug with him again?
Yes.
Didn't he? Yeah.
That's
I
it.
wanna
That's his
hit
thing.
him in
That's
the
his prop.
face.
That's his heel prop.
That's
now.
his thing. Yeah, everything. Every promo that he has ends with him staring off into something and sipping his coffee.
So
then
stupid.
Cena demanded that he wanted a tag team, a match against Miz and Truth. So then Laurinaitis said that later on in the show he would pick his partner for him.
Yes.
So-
So we go from that
Not much
to
from that.
another match.
And
If you,
then-
I think was this the Divas match?
No, the next
Thank
match
God.
was Ziggler. Ziggler versus Santino.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's just as bad as the Divas match.
Santino.
They need to
All
get him
Why
better
does
opponents.
Why does Santino even?
Why does he have a job?
You want to talk about
Yes.
the guy can't work?
No. Well, they don't. I don't think they let him work though. I
No,
I
I
think
don't
he put
know.
on some decent matches before he got to WWE.
He can go. They're just insistent
Yeah.
on keeping him as a
comedy
joke.
guy. Yeah, joke guy.
He's not
And
funny
you know
anymore.
the whole
though.
how
That's the
they
problem.
That's
treat
wearing out.
his finisher like a freaking death blow.
It's
The
stupid.
Cobra.
It's over with the crowd though.
He's beat
Some
guys
reason.
with the Cobra.
Yeah, Tyson Kidd, all those.
Say what you
low-level
want about
guys.
the five knuckle shuffle, the people's elbow, all those moves. The worm.
They were
all
more-
had contact.
They weren't just a little poke.
right.
And they try to play it off as, oh, he hits a nerve. Santino
He's
hits
hitting a nerve with
hits-
me.
Yeah, he hits a nerve, and it pretty much makes people die for 10 seconds.
Stupid.
It was sad too because they actually had Swagger interfere on Ziggler's behalf, which makes his win look
Which
even
makes
worse.
Dolph
Santino
looks
look
soft.
like he's
Yeah.
stronger than he actually is.
some
Yeah.
reason.
So Dolph wins with a little help from Swagger, and then Batista 2.0 runs out. I mean, you might as well call him that.
God. He's just...
He gets
He's
no
huge.
reaction whatsoever from
no,
the crowd.
he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
And
At
they're
least
gonna-
Batista was over.
Yeah.
I don't
Big
think.
time.
I think they're confused on what to do with him. Like he comes out.
The crowd looks
every
at
once
him
in a
and they
while,
go, "You're
wow, that's a big guy."
Batista's little brother."
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day when he's out there and a Batista chant starts in the crowd.
It's going to happen. Actually, I think
I
it
bet
might
if
happen.
they go to Boston, when
I
they
told you.
end up going to Boston, that might get a.
The only way
Right.
that
A good crowd
The
will
only
have to do
way
it.
Yeah.
that guy gets a reaction is if Batista comes back and fights him at Mania. I want to see that match.
It's not going to happen.
You know, Batista won't face Mason Ryan at WrestleMania.
No.
He's got
coming
too,
in for a big
he's
guy-
got
for a
too
big
he's got
match.
too much of an ego to
Yeah.
stoop that
He's
low.
got too many other things to do, anyways. But
He'd want to get in on the Cena Rock match, make it a triple
yeah.
threat.
oh god,
Oh
no.
yeah.
God,
All right,
no.
moving
that's not
on.
gonna
Enough
happen.
of that.
Okay,
Enough of that
the
crap.
start of the second hour, Alberto Del Rio came out and cut his little promo about how Cena's never going to get a title match anymore.
His victory speech or
and
whatever.
now he's the
This
best
was a
champion.
pretty
and
good
then
segment.
Punk came out.
Good,
Yep.
thank God, Punk saved the
Yeah.
show.
Punk claims that he never got his one-on-one matchup, which is true.
Which he didn't.
He did. He had the triple threat match, and he got kicked out of the first match.
He had a triple threat match after the fact that John Cena beat him for the number one contendership. Why didn't they just do the triple threat match to begin with?
Well, here's
I
the
don't
thing,
know.
too, and we mentioned this last week. Laurinaitis, he is a camera hog. Say what you
I
want about
know.
Cena. This guy gets more camera time than I've ever seen.
I love the camera time.
He was having trouble too delivering his lines with Punk.
CM
I don't know.
Punk
Yeah,
told
he
him to
was
put the
struggling.
mic up because
Yeah.
he wasn't
You gotta hold
talking
the
to
mic
the
over
mic.
his phone.
Closer. Yeah, he just doesn't have that presence in the ring yet. I mean, they just threw him out there though.
But here's
no
the
training. He's
Yeah.
never been on TV before.
Yeah.
Well, he used to be a wrestler.
He was a wrestler,
but
a
he
jobber.
wasn't. He
Wasn't any
wasn't
good,
a
like
wrestler.
CM Punk pointed
Yeah, he
out.
wasn't a wrestler like nowadays.
No.
This is the guy though that they need Punk to go up against the authority figure that
Yes.
he's needed to fight. He's
Well,
supposed to be the
he should be against him and not.
anti-authority.
I think it would work better against Laurinaitis than Triple H.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, WrestleMania would be a terrible spot to do that match. At the Royal Rumble,
Oh, God.
it's Johnny Funkman Ace versus CM Punk
for the title.
Wow.
For the title, no,
Yes.
no, because then
Yes.
we'll have a Vince Russo winning the WCW title again.
Oh God.
That would be bad.
Nah. The crowd was really into Punk too. I was
Yeah.
pretty disappointed he didn't get a match though. But
Well-
it might have been. He might have had the dark match.
Yeah,
He's so good on the mic.
Yeah.
I love when he talks on the mic. It's a real segment.
Yeah,
He just
and
speaks his
I
mind.
love him on the mic, and it's not for oh, he breaks the fourth wall, he's breaking kayfabe. He's just a genuinely good talker.
Yeah, he is.
He's got to cut back though on the
Yeah, on the-
80s references.
Yeah.
like wrestling references. Like a lot of the crowd they don't know how to react to what he's saying. Like
but
with
the
the
smart,
skateboard
but then,
incident.
but
and,
he brings in guys.
Nah.
Even Cena
Nah.
mentioned the skateboard incident in
Yeah.
that segment you talked about earlier.
Cena did it first, actually.
Cena did it
Yeah.
before Punk did.
Nah.
But they're bringing in that other, like us, our 20-some-year-old demographic, or 30, 40, 50, that watched it back in the day,
Yeah.
So Punk doesn't get the title match because
No.
he didn't respect
He didn't show respect.
Smoke
It
Man.
was funny though the whole thing that transpired after that.
Nah.
I don't remember it word for word, but it was funny.
Punk
forget
dropped
what did
a
Laurinaitis
pipe bomb
say?
pretty much, and Laurinaitis got mad. CM Punk attacked Alberto,
Yeah.
and then he got out of the ring. Go to sleep on Ricardo.
It was a sloppy-
Ricardo had a
Yeah,
black
slop.
eye. Did you
Yeah.
notice that?
From the Big Show from like 2 weeks ago.
From the Big Show.
No, it
He's
was
got
from
this.
SmackDown.
Oh, was
Friday,
Yeah,
okay.
he's got this black eye. It was so funny to
And-
watch this
yeah.
guy.
'Cause he had it
his
on
eyes.
pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the go to sleep on him was so sloppy. It hit him in the like.
They didn't really show too much
It's,
of it though.
I got
the
you
end.
got a glancing
Yeah.
shot of it. It hit him
Yeah.
like in the chest, on the shoulder area.
Yeah.
which is weird because Ricardo is a trained wrestler.
Yeah.
You would think
From
he'd
what
be
I've
able to
heard,
take
he's
that spot better.
from what I heard, he's actually a pretty decent wrestler.
Right.
He's
He can
nothing
move around.
special, but
No.
He's wearing that suit. That
He's trained.
yeah,
tux,
that
too,
that
the
tux
suit,
has
yeah.
got to be a little confining.
Yeah.
So what happened after that segment?
After that, they went to commercial, right? And then they came back for the Divas match.
All right,
Alicia
who
Fox.
won that? We don't
Alicia
even really.
Fox and Natalia.
Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
She won with
Na-
the sunset flip. out of the
Natalia
corner.
lost
again.
to Alicia.
She
Friggin'
talk about no
Fox.
reaction.
Who got new music
Oh
as
my.
well?
She got
Alicia
new
Fox.
music.
Nobody even knew who she was when she came out. The
She's
crowd was
got-
like, "Who is this?"
She's got new music, but she still gets no reaction.
She's like a Beyonce wannabe.
And again, I'm tired of these women's matches ending in a GB roll up.
Yeah.
So okay.
Natalia's
so
the girl though to put the diva to put all the other ones over the
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah.
Alicia wins
It
next.
is, but Alicia Fox isn't going to go anywhere.
No.
Ever.
I hate this match.
Well, she-
Go next. I don't want to talk
Next,
about
go.
it. I don't
It's
want
gotta
to
have
talk
somebody
about
to
it.
fight against.
I don't care about the Divas division. I'm sorry. It sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Wait
suck.
till Karma gets back, then we might have something
Then
we're talking about.
we could talk. But until then, next.
Following that match was the match between John Morrison and Wade
Ugh.
Barrett. Interpromotional.
Look, I'm glad
SmackDown
Wade
versus
went
Raw
over.
match.
I like Wade. I think he's got a lot of potential.
He
Even
does.
though they're kind of like, listen, Wade, we buried you for so long. Now we're going to try to build you up
Oh
again.
yeah,
They-
we
they-
had Cena constantly bury you
They did
and
the same thing
literally
with
bury
Sheamus,
you
though.
under chairs.
They did
Wow.
the same thing with Sheamus.
True, but
They build him up, bury him, then they build him back up.
You're
again.
trying to build Wade Barrett up by making him win over John Morrison.
Yeah.
It ain't
Job
going.
Morrison.
It ain't
No.
going much of anywhere.
Actually, on that point, I actually looked this up last night after he lost. In the last singles match that Morrison won was August 15th on Raw.
Wow.
Obviously beating R-Truth. He's been pinned 10 times in a row since then on TV.
That's like a Sports Center,
yeah,
you know,
a Sports Center stat.
stat. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
strange.
actually sad.
That's over 2 months.
That
Yeah.
He's been
is-
pinned on Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view, Raw,
That
SmackDown.
is ridiculous.
That's
is
bad.
Just let him go
I know.
already.
So Wade Barrett
Let
won
John,
clean.
John
Yeah.
just
So-
quit.
Yeah.
Let your 90 days run out, and you could
Is-
be
is-
TNA World Champion within 4 months.
He would be.
Is Morrison going to get the Punk treatment before his contract runs up? Is
He's
he
not
gonna
dropping
Is he gonna get
pipe
to
bombs.
Yeah, he's not going to drop any and then get a title
No.
shot.
No, from what I've heard, Morrison won't even stand up for himself in the back, and that's one reason why people don't have any faith in him, because he doesn't have faith in
If
himself.
he can't stand up for himself, then what's he
exactly.
going to do?
Exactly.
Okay, so Wade Barrett wins clean with
Yeah.
the waistland
Nope.
next.
A botched wasteland.
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
view.
it was.
Well, Morrison went for the springboard.
that
Yeah, he
finisher
wrote
sucks. I hate that
You don't
finisher.
like that?
for a
It
man
looks
of,
powerful.
for a man of his size,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
works.
I
Like
know,
imagine the
but-
Big Show doing that. That'd be
Oh,
a pretty
God.
heinous looking thing.
I don't know. That would hurt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He
I
could
mean,
injure some people
Wade's
doing it.
over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, he's
He's
way
way
over
He can hurt
that.
He's
people
probably
with
like
that.
6'6", isn't he?
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, so what happened after that?
After that match, Michael Cole, your guys' favorite play-by-play guy, he stood up on the announce table
I would love
and
to
showed
see
all
them-
the pictures of JR.
I would
He'd
love
been
to see-
tweeting all night.
I would love to see them gimmick one of the tables that he stands
Oh
up
my
on, and it
God.
just crumbles underneath of him.
I wish his career crumbled. I can't stand him. So next week, you're right. He comes out
Yeah.
and he challenges JR to a Michael Cole challenge.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell.
Now the
What does
cool
that
thing
mean?
is,
Michael
if,
Cole challenge, so you can be the bigger douchebag.
I know.
if he loses,
He quits.
quits. I don't see Vince
But if
taking
he-
his boy
but
off
if-
commentary.
Yeah, but if he wins, JR gets his spot on the commentating booth back.
If JR
now is it
wins.
Michael
If-
Cole's?
yeah,
Yeah, so
Cole-
Cole would quit.
yeah, Cole
so
said
it'd
he
be a
gets a seat.
two-man
Yeah,
booth.
Cole
Yeah.
would quit.
I'm interested to see where they go with this. I don't think JR is going to win.
No.
I don't know why. I just have
No.
Vince McMahon likes to bury Jim Ross.
Dear God, if they're
the
building
pictures
up,
making fun of him, I am sick of it. They
Yeah.
always make fun of the man's weight.
Dear-
Ugh.
I just
Oh,
don't get it.
God.
Instead of putting Michael Cole over continuously for months, why don't they, show some wrestlers that actually matter for their company, like Daniel
Exactly.
Bryan or Air Boom?
And-
They defended their titles last
and-
night and won, and then they
I know.
mention on Raw.
I know.
Dear
next
God,
night.
if they are building up to Jim Ross versus
my God.
Michael Cole
Survivor
at
Series?
WrestleMania,
Oh, WrestleMania. That's even better.
No, it's not better. What the
We
hell
don't
are you
wanna
smoking?
We don't want to see that, dude.
Why
no
not?
way. We've
They've
seen
already
it for a year.
I told you before we even
5-star
got.
classic.
I told you guys before we even got on the air that they announced already the first DLC for the WWE 12. It includes HBK, okay, and Cole and JR.
As wrestlers.
Exactly.
All right,
They,
so
they couldn't even get Cole his own music. He comes out to the Raw opening theme.
and by the
Really?
way,
Yeah.
the way, the only reason
And he does have his stupid wrestling attire that you like.
Yes, the only reason some people were cheering the Michael Cole segment about JR was they were in Texas
Yeah.
and JR being
a
an
big
Oklahoma
Oklahoma guy.
fan,
Exactly.
it's their rival. That is the only reason anybody, you heard a couple claps, I'm just justifying that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry between the two schools. So, all right, so we go to, is it main event time?
Yeah.
Thank
They
God.
come- they come
This
back-
Raw has been horrible.
They come back from break. Yeah, it was not a good.
No, it was
They
good.
come back
It was a
from
good
break.
open and a good punk segment. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Nope.
Keep going.
Zack Ryder was on the mic. They were interviewing before his match. He was talking about how him and Cena are friends.
Yeah,
and then
apparently Laurinaitis picked
he picked
Ryder
him.
to be
Cena's partner. And then he got attacked by Awesome Truth, which obviously took him out of the match. So it ended up being
good.
Cena
Another
versus
handicap
Miz and
match.
Truth in a handicap match.
I was not looking forward to this because Cena didn't have a partner.
No.
And
Did you guys
we-
notice the guy? There's always a guy in the front row that wears the "We Hate Cena" shirt. Did you see him?
Well,
Yeah.
he was at the
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view, and he was at
and he was at Raw in the
Raw.
front row.
I don't.
He's got
those
money.
are only the
He
times I've
must.
seen him, though.
I've seen
And
him.
From,
He's been at WrestleMania before.
from what I've heard, they actually sell those "We Hate Cena" shirts at the arena.
What?
Do they
WWE
really?
is making money off of that.
What?
Really? I didn't see that.
I
when
don't
went.
know if that's true.
Maybe
or
they
not.
sell a guy to
Outside.
go like outside, but they hire. It's
Like
one
a-
of their
like-
staff
like,
members.
like a scalper.
But still,
kinda.
to sit in the front row 2 shows in a row. That's
I don't know.
that dude. Where's he
Yeah.
getting his money from?
Exactly.
Not us.
No,
That's for dang
not
sure.
At all.
So the reason I hate Cena in handicap matches is like Troy said earlier with the Vengeance thing.
because
He's unstoppable.
He has
Yeah.
odds to overcome.
Yeah,
and
and-
that is the worst case scenario with Cena.
But they handled this well. I thought. I
I
guess.
couldn't even see Cena in the match.
Actually,
He had
I'm
his
not
camo
a
shorts
Zack
on.
Ryder. I think Zack Ryder should have been in the match just to have a tag
know,
match,
I know.
and he could have been the one to lose against maybe Miz,
know. Who cares?
and it would have been good for both. Ryder would have gotten the main event, and Miz and Truth still get a clean victory over
but
Cena and.
but they pinned Zack Ryder.
Yeah,
yeah,
that
but
pins
but
Ryder.
still, that way they
That was
don't
like
pin
Barrett
Cena.
pinning Morrison.
Right.
It's better for him to get pinned in the main event though than not to be on the show at all.
All right, I don't know, but to make a long story short, they beat the crap
Yeah.
out of Cena. They leave.
They got the DQ because
Again.
of the water bottle of doom.
Oh boy.
The fifth segment, right? I mean,
water bottle of doom.
the fourth or fifth segment now.
Dun dun dun.
John Laurinaitis comes back out. Seriously, guys, this is
and
ridiculous.
every segment starts the same way.
hold on.
I'm John Laurinaitis, the Executive Vice President of Talent
Why does he
Relations.
have to remind us every
and
time?
interim Raw General
Because apparently he thinks that we forget.
I know. I don't get it.
so he comes
It's
out.
getting almost to
I
the
know.
point of Michael Cole's, can
Yeah.
I have your attention, please?
Yes,
and his and I quote crap.
Yeah, he comes out again for like the fifth segment,
Yeah.
and then he says, "Look." He tells Miz and Truth to get out
before I get a pack of cigarettes and Get out smoke before I you. smoke
Did
your
he say
asses.
no, but he told him to get out.
He
said
started
leave.
yelling too, and it sounded terrible.
It was kind of funny. Okay, so they tell Cena he could choose. Laurinaitis tells Cena that he could choose anybody to team up with him. Anybody.
And right there,
Against
right
Miz and
there,
Truth.
if you are at Survivor Series,
Yes.
and right there, if you are a competent wrestling fan, you already knew who his partner was.
Well, they had already announced that The Rock was his partner before. So why are they
Yeah.
trying to make it seem like it was such a surprise?
Well, at
that
first
he-
they said they were going to team up in
Hell,
a Survivor Series
yeah.
match.
They advertise, even
Yeah,
if
they've
you're not
already-
a smart
yeah,
fan,
they
they
already advertised
advertised
for
it on Raw. They
Yeah.
showed a picture of The Rock
Together.
at Survivor Series
Yeah.
together with John Cena
Yeah.
on Raw.
Yeah,
Duh.
I don't get that.
So big shocker.
No.
Cena spits all over the mic and himself when he mentions my partner's gonna be The Rock. Saliva
they'll be
all
editing
over.
that one out of the video package.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like when Angle won the WWE title for the first time against The Rock, and there was this giant booger hanging out of his
Yeah, I
nose.
remember that. I remember that.
Oh,
That was pretty
Kurt,
funny.
you got a little something right here.
is that The Rock
It
or
took
is
them
that the
forever
booger?
to tell him that too.
I don't know.
And that was
So
basically
that was Raw.
how Raw went off the air.
So your main event at Survivor
Well, the
Series
Miz and Truth
probably.
did their little crazy-eyed. The Truth that he did his crazy eye like, expression, like what?
And they've got their little secret handshake
Yeah.
thing that they do.
Yeah, so there's your main event possibly for Survivor Series. We've been wondering how they're going to use The Rock. It's Rock and Cena against Miz and Truth at Survivor Series. We kind of wanted to see a tag team Survivor Series
Yeah,
match.
I would have liked to have seen Team C Nation versus Team Bring It in a Survivor Series.
I think that
match.
would have made more.
That would have made more sense.
That would've.
But that's why they didn't do it because
Yeah.
it made sense.
And that was Raw. Not a good show.
That's a solid 2.5.
Vengeance was better.
Vengeance was way better.
The opening segment with H and Nash, I thought that was good. The Punk interview with Laurinaitis was very good.
That was funny.
And then
Other than like you said, the obscure '80s references.
that was about it. That was really. I mean, I wanted to see how they were going to use The Rock, so
They
that's
actually
why.
gave that Morrison Bear match a little too much time.
Way
I thought.
too much.
Yeah.
That match wasn't even
It was
that
too long.
good.
No. And if it was, they're just squashing Morrison anyway. So
We knew
why
who was gonna
exactly
win.
9-10 minutes. Yeah.
As soon as
Okay,
you hear Morrison's
so-
music hit, you know it's jobbing time.
Yeah.
You know, Punk says it's clobbering time. Morrison just to come out. It's jobbing time.
Where's Al Snow in the Job Squad when you need him?
Where's the Blue Meanie at?
So that was Raw, not very good.
And
we'll see what happens next
previews
week.
for next week when the Muppets take over Raw.
I said this on my
Halloween
I
night.
said this on my Facebook page last night during Raw. I hope CM Punk drops a pipe bomb on Kermit the Frog.
There has got
Hey there, Kermit the
there
Frog.
has got to be a segment between Sheamus and Beaker.
Oh, my God.
There has got to
I knew
be.
you were going to say that.
There has to be.
There's got to be an R-Truth segment with any of the
conspiracy.
Muppets.
Yeah, just about the conspiracy.
Where's you, Miss
There's
Piggy?
Miss Piggy and Vicky. There's another
Yeah.
given.
Oh my God.
And I want
People-
to see
you know what?
I want to see Statler and Waldorf, the two old hecklers in the balcony, on commentary.
People could say what they want about, the Muppets, how dorky is that? I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, that was my childhood.
Yes.
I loved the Muppets. I watched every incarnation of the Muppets when I was younger.
Yeah.
Are they bringing
the Muppet Show, the Muppet
Yeah.
Babies?
They're doing a Muppet movie, right? Are they bringing
Yes.
back a TV show?
No,
don't know.
not from what
No,
I've heard.
okay.
I
It's
would love
just
to
a
see.
movie. It's a
I would
plug
love
for
to
their
see them
movie.
bring back
Yeah.
the Muppet Show, though. That was a great show.
We're almost out of time. I want to hit on this really quick. Couple things. First thing, the overuse of the Twitter crap on
that
Raw was
And
ridiculous.
it's always by Michael Cole.
But not only that, but now they got graphics.
Yeah, that
Oh,
pop up.
Kevin Nash
Kevin
is
Nash
trending.
is trending now.
Nobody cares.
They realize that things can trend very easily with just like if one demographic of people get a hold of something like
They're-
Justin Bieber fans
Exactly.
or anything like
They
girls,
are really overusing
Yeah,
the
they're
Twitter
not really
stuff now.
positive on how they.
And if you've
measure
seen
Twitter
Raw,
anyway,
you
so.
probably said the same thing. Oh
Yeah.
my God, is this all they're talking about
Exactly.
now?
It's
I used
ridiculous.
to like when the guys came to the ring, they would have a video package. This is what Dolph Ziggler said moments ago, and then they would have the small square box
Yeah.
in the. I'd like that
Yeah.
to build up matches. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't care what Dolph said on his Twitter page about Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I'd rather have Dolph cut
I-
a small 20-second
I don't
promo.
even have Twitter.
Right,
So
not everybody
why don't-
does.
I'm kind of screwed on that.
I know.
I don't
They
want
kind of
Twitter
ignore
either.
Facebook almost.
I know it is kind of weird. They act like Twitter's like the #1 social media outlet now, and Facebook
It's
is definitely
big,
bigger
but,
than Twitter.
But fans really don't.
But it's
you either
easier-
have it like
yeah,
us,
yeah.
or like
It's-
Troy.
you don't
He
have
doesn't
none.
have it. He doesn't care.
It's
Yeah.
bigger than Google Plus. I'll say that.
Shout out
it's
to Google.
It's an easy way for them to interact with fans, but they're trying to push it way too much in our throats.
Exactly.
So there you go. We'll see what happens with
I'm
the
starting
Muppets.
to hate
and,
Twitter like I hate Cena for them pushing it down our throats.
By the way, you can follow us on Twitter, Outside the Ring 1, and Facebook.
Facebook.
We love Facebook too. Outside the Ring on Facebook and YouTube.
And, of course, our YouTube.
channel. Outside the Ring 1.
Outside the Ring 1 on
Troy,
YouTube.
what happened in wrestling history on this in this week
This
of
week in
October
wrestling history.
25th? Here comes a bad one.
1998 WCW Halloween Havoc Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, hailed by some as the worst match ever.
Is that in WCW or
That was-
overall?
I'm guessing overall.
It was actually so
it
bad.
was terrible.
Hogan, who loves himself, he actually said this was one of his worst matches of all time. That's how you know it's
Well,
bad.
he was having it with the Warrior, like I was talking about earlier with
Yeah.
you. Warrior was notorious for stiffing people in the ring and just being an overall crappy worker.
Hogan looked like Daniel Bryan compared to the Warriors' work in the ring. Hey, I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You know, and this is the same
set
match.
the clip up
This is
here.
the same match where Hogan was going to do a fireball spot, and of course we've all seen that before.
Liu Kang.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Scorpion, get over here.
Right.
But no, Hogan had the flash paper and a lighter he pulled out of his trunks when he was down in the corner, and the camera got a clear shot of this. I don't think it was supposed to happen like
Hogan
that.
doesn't smoke.
Hogan couldn't get the lighter to work.
He was having trouble.
Yeah, it must have been a childproof lighter. So
It was
okay,
Hogan
that
proof.
didn't go over as good as I thought it would.
I got it.
Okay, but yeah, he couldn't get the flash paper lit.
Uh-huh.
And when he did, he couldn't throw it. It went off in his face, and it burned
It almost
too fast.
killed Hulkamania.
We actually have a clip. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
Like a fireball or something that he attempted to throw at the Warrior. He tried to blind him. He tried to blind him.
He was going to burn that man.
That's what he was going to do.
And there you go. Bobby Heenan.
It was terrible.
How about
Bobby Heenan tried to salvage it. God bless
that
Bobby
didn't work.
Heenan. That is why Bobby
tried his
Heenan.
hardest.
He tried to burn that man.
He was going to burn that man.
I
Who ended
burned
up-
the
who
Warrior,
ended up
too.
winning? Who ended up winning the match?
Hogan
Hogan won.
Okay.
We don't remember and we don't care.
And on that note, I think we need to wrap it up.
By the way, that was the same pay-per-view before as we hit
as
The Rock's
Sting
music.
Sting and Bret Hart.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
I think we should go out to The Rock.
They had a good
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, so
DDP
yeah,
and Goldberg.
DDP and
Yeah.
Goldberg. That was the same pay-per-view.
That's when the feed cut out on him.
The feed cut off, and they say that is when WCW, because they were winning the ratings at the time,
Yeah.
that's when they started going downhill because that upset a lot of people. That Hogan
Yeah.
match,
Nah.
and then the feed going
It
out.
was ridiculous.
That was a
Hogan
horrible
match
way to end.
was
It was back to
absolutely
back
terrible.
right at the end too. So.
All right, so next week we got Raw, we have Impact.
Raw with the Muppets. Hi, Hulk.
Yes.
Kermit Frog here.
So we're looking forward to that because we want to see. It's a Halloween show. Maybe they'll bring back Undertaker for goodness'
Now, you
sakes.
said earlier you want to see CM Punk drop a pipe bomb on
I do.
Kermit. I want to see Miz go get a segment with Kermit.
I want to see somebody dressed up for Halloween.
I want to see
couple
whose
wrestlers.
nose is bigger.
No. I can guarantee you right now.
Who's gonna be
There's
dressed
going to
up?
be a Divas costume contest.
Oh my God!
I'm willing to put money on
Yeah.
it.
I agree. There's definitely going to be that, and I want to see whose nose is bigger, Triple H's or Gonzo. I want to see that. I want to see that. Triple H, please come back. We gotta shut up the haters and see whose nose is bigger. All right, guys,
I
that
wanna
was a good
see
show. So
Miz and Kermit, Beaker and Sheamus, Vicky and Miss Piggy,
Well, Ziggler and
Punk
Kermit too. Live
driving
interacting
pipe
too,
bomb.
right?
Ziggler and Kermit. Yeah, there's so many out there.
Yeah.
I want to see a segment with Fozzy and
that'd be
Santino.
good. There
since
you
they're
go.
both joke characters.
You know Santino's going to be on the show next week.
Oh yeah.
The jokes are all going to be coming
definitely,
out.
Definitely.
So it was a good show. Watch Raw next week. I think it's going to be interesting to see how The Rock responds to John Cena.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't said
'Cause
nothing. I don't think Rock even watched Raw.
He
last
could just
night.
come out and just say, "Screw you, no."
Yeah. So
Hopefully
we'll
they
see
give
what
us
happens.
something with that.
Hopefully.
Impact. I
Impact.
think
We might touch on that.
we just
Depends
watch
on what
Impact to
happens.
see what they do with the title
Yeah,
situation.
I'll
now.
probably watch it reluctantly.
I'm
but I'll
interested
watch
to
it.
see if Bobby Roode turns heel. Maybe we'll see.
He was happy last week when Storm won it.
He was. He was. So we'll see
see.
what happens.
Yep.
So for Wes Burton, Troy Stone Cold Austin,
Oh, hell yeah.
Woo woo woo.
and Jason Murphy. Hey, follow us on Twitter. Once again, Outside the Ring 1. We need your support, please,
Like
to keep
us
this
on
podcast
Facebook.
going. Yes, like us on Facebook, Outside the Ring. Like us there. Follow us on there. Befriend us. And also, our YouTube. We need subscribers. We have like 5 right now.
Yep.
We have
It's-
5 subscribers.
Yeah,
If you listen,
yeah.
5
subscribe.
subscribers, but we've got almost 200 views per
Almost,
video.
yeah, almost 200
Subscribe
views.
to us,
Yeah.
people.
It's
Don't
probably
just
gonna
watch
be
the
out.
video. Subscribe.
Yeah.
There's a new episode every week.
Every week we will give you a shout out when it's coming out, and that is at Outside the Ring #1. So just type that into YouTube. You'll get right to our channel. And we will see you guys next week for another great episode.